No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you, the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Unity. Come stand with us.
Here we are this morning, everyone is family, brothers, sisters, we have come. Hearts and minds are open, voices sing God's glory, working wonders in our lives. We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be the light in the world. We have come to sing together. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence of God. Look around, these faces filled with love. God's light and spirit shining in our eyes. Through these doors, hearts rising in this room, arms open with all who say are welcome here. Have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be a light in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence of God. All right, let's hear those hands now. We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be a light in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence of God. We have come to stand in the presence of God. Give yourselves a hand. That was awesome.
I'm out of breath from all that dancing I've done. Come together. Welcome, everybody. If you don't know, I'm Laura Davis. I have the honor of being one of your ministerial hosts for today. I would like to welcome everybody here that's physically in the sanctuary or in Meyer Hall, and I'd love to welcome everybody that's watching online here today. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on our teachings of our way shower, Jesus, and the power of affirmative prayer. Here at Unity, we honor everybody's individual spiritual paths. And as we walk through our day, we watch others honor their spiritual paths, and we honor theirs too. Thank you so much for being the light that you are in this world and shining it here in our community and out into the entire world. And as we gather here today, we're going to speak on our vision statement. Our vision statement, as we say together, a spiritually awakened world living in peace, love, and joy. Oh, gosh, it feels so good to say that. And our mission statement together. We transform lives that transform the world. Oh, goodness. When we speak those words, don't they just fill your heart space up with just so much bright love and light? And as we feel that connection, I ask you to just close your eyes, take a deep breath in, feel your body relax into your chair, your feet grounded into the Mother Earth ground. We feel that strong connection of spirit as it goes through our head all the way down to our body, and it fills us up with love and joy, peace and harmony. Our cells are reminded that the only truth that they live by is the truth of love, unconditional love. There is no fear here, there is no disease, it's just love. And we're always reminding our body of that. And as we walk through our day, we are finding the guidance of Spirit, always ever whispering to us. We open ourselves to hear that soft whisper, feel the comfort of knowing that it is our divine right to live in a place of love, in a place of divine order, in a place of harmony. We trust that Spirit has our best and highest good. We listen to Spirit as we follow our path and our journey. Our path may not always look the way we want it to, but it's not for ours to say. Spirit knows what's best for us. Spirit has our back. God has our back. God carries us when we can't carry ourselves. And as we lift this prayer up, we give thanks for everybody here, everybody in our community, and everybody in this world that shares this white light with us. And so it is. Amen. I'd like to not introduce, but I'd like to announce that Reverend Bunch is going to be doing his talk today on where two or more are gathered together. Reverend Bunch has been such a wonderful transitional minister for us, and even though our time with him is coming short, we always embrace such guidance that you bring onto this platform for us and always guide us in the right direction. So thank you so much, and we're looking forward to this today.
Let's all stand. Down your name out this morning. Going to swing wide the doors. 2, 3, 4. We all know this one.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Ring in the dawn for you and I. Swing wide the doors of his heart
this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in. I'm gonna tell it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. What's it about?
It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand.
Lending a hand.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in
The light, bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard. I've learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming
out loud and clear.
I want a deeper life. What's it about?
It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles.
It's about love. It's about kindness. It's about hearts open wide. It's about love. It's about passion. It's about taking a chance. It's about love. It's about service. It's about lending a hand. Lending a hand.
All right, guys, it's the time in our service for us to greet each other with a holy hug, with a high five, or a bow. And let's all say this together. The divine in me greets the divine in you, and we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide those doors. Yeah. Now we got open hearts.
Woo! Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Well, if you weren't feeling awake before, you should be now. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Smith, and I am honored to be your platform host for today, sharing with you the daily word. And our word for today, Cinco de Mayo Day, is joy. Yeah, so please join me in our affirmation today. I feel joyous as I celebrate life. Each new day is a treasure filled with life's gems found in even the most ordinary moments. Joy fills my heart when I pause to notice the wonder that surrounds me. I let my gaze linger as I watch the setting sun, or close my eyes as I savor the sweetness of fresh fruit. Beneath the night sky, I breathe deeply and partake of the fresh, clean air. The beauty of the world pales in comparison, however, to the beauty within me and you. I am so deeply and wondrously blessed to know my oneness with God and all that is. There is no greater joy. I wake and praise each new day and feel newly alive. I go out into the world to share the joy of being a child of God in the abundant universe. I spread light and love to everyone I meet, trusting that they will know the joy of God as I do. Our scripture verse is from Psalm chapter 92, verse 4. For you, O Lord, have made me glad by your work, and the works of your hands I sing for joy. If you would like prayer support today or at any time, we have several options for you. You may fill out a prayer request on our website, unityrenaissance.org, at any time. You may also call Silent Unity, Unity's prayer ministry, anytime, day or night, at 816-969-2000. And for those of you who are here, we have a prayer table just outside the sanctuary. It has prayer cards that you can fill out for yourself or others, and different ways that you can request that prayer. That does take a little bit longer for that to be pulled out of the box. So if you want some more immediate prayer needs, go to one of these other options. But also today, we have prayer chaplains available to pray with you in person after the service. Would our prayer chaplains please rise for today? And again, you can find them in the chapel right after the service, which is found just past the bookstore. So with that all, please rise and let's sing the Lord's Song.
Holy Creator, we praise your name. Your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs, Lord, from day to day. Let your forgiveness light our way. Lead us away from temptation's home. Deliver us, Lord, into your fold. For all the kingdom, power and praise, with you began and with you stays. Holy Creator, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we have also forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. For all the kingdom, power, and praise, with you began and with you stay. Amen. Pleasure to feature Kim on this next song, this next classic.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. Stars in the shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling
That's Kim Warder, everybody. Give her a big hand. Give her some love. Nicely done.
Wow. You feel good, I feel good, Richard feels good. Richard said, you know, the first song we'll do a special may not have anything to do with what you're talking about. Well, it does, because we're going to feel good this morning, okay? Yeah, we are feeling good this morning. Thank you. And Laura, thank you for that kind introduction and for your words of wisdom. That was a joke. But anyway, but I do have one more Sunday left, okay? I just want you to know that. And so, which will be the end of the month. And I have a series that I'm going to do. It's going to be bookend, okay? First Sunday and last Sunday of the month. And it's based on a book by Jim Rosemergy. Many of you who've been in Unity for a while know him. He's a great writer. He's a great minister. He's a great person. And he's written just a book called Gathering of the Few. Gathering of the Few. And it's a great read. It's a fairly, quick read, but it's a great read, and I recommend it highly. And most of my thoughts that have come through today, are about gathering of the few. And, most of us, let me get this here first, okay? Thank you. Most of us have heard the statement, where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of you, right? Like this. Would you take that over, please? So, the next slide. Are we having a problem? Well, the next slide says, Matthew 18:20, where two or more, that's not the slide, let's go, but anyway, it says, where two or more of you are, and stay right there, are gathered, there I will be in the midst of you. Nope, go back. Okay, we're going to get this here straight. Ha ha! Now, applaud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Now, you know what that means. And you know we have a few of us gathered here today. And that means that the Christ presence, the I am, that is universal, that ties us together as spiritual beings. That's what's happening this morning. And it's happening, thank goodness, all over the world. Maybe with different concepts, different ways of understanding Jesus, different ways of understanding one's religious experience. But it is happening that people all over the world this morning and throughout the week are gathering as a few. And that Christ presence that's really within them comes together and it ties together their energy. And anytime that happens, you see, we're having a spiritual experience. Now, we're on a path. We are on a journey that really will bring us all together in oneness at some point in history. I do believe that with all my heart. Doesn't look like it some days. Really doesn't look like it when I watch TV. But what they call the news. And so, but I do believe that what we're doing is going through what we need to go through to get where we need to be. And so as we do that, we start to understand that if we see the world from a spiritual perspective, we will find our way on the journey. And that includes being together with others. If I had not gone to a unity church, I wouldn't be in unity. I didn't even know what it was. But I felt, as many people said, at home. And so as we start to understand what happens and how do we come to this point where the world changes. And I want to introduce the next slide, which you've seen already, okay? Which is a book many of you may or may not know, written in 1982 by John Nesbitt. Now, John Nesbitt was Undersecretary of Education in the Kennedy administration, so it goes back a ways, okay? He became a personal assistant to President Johnson. He became a professor at Harvard, at Moscow University, at China University, okay? And he wrote about this concept of megatrends. But the thing that really left to us in many ways as a legacy is the idea of a tipping point. And a tipping point is a way in which we come together and a mass, if you would, a critical mass takes place. And that's when things change. I mean, change universally. For example, I do believe that someday somebody's going to walk into a unity church or a New Thought church, and they're going to be the person who is the tipping point, where we move from being a smaller group to a much larger group. And as we become a much larger group, we then have much more influence on the world. And then there will be a tipping point where there will be this critical mass where people start to understand, enough people know who and what we are. We're spiritual beings having a spiritual experience. Know this and then start to act like it. Because everybody says, aha, I got it. And it wakes other people up who don't even know anything about unity, which is really important. Not important. It's understanding who they are. And so many of you have heard the story, and if you just click that one time, please, of macaque monkeys. In 1952, a wildlife person, and we don't know who it is anonymously, noticed that the Makata monkeys on an island in the Philippines began to wash their sweet potatoes, which is their favorite food, in the water. And a few did that. It was mostly the younger, the babies, who did it. And eventually there were, they say, 100 monkeys that came to the water to wash their sweet potatoes. And when that happened, now this is critical mass, when that happened, what happened is monkeys, Makata monkeys, across on other islands started doing the same thing. They didn't send an email. They didn't text them. It just took place because of the power of energy and that mass, critical mass was needed to have monkeys throughout the world start to wash their sweet potatoes. You know, the only monkeys who would not were the adults, the older adults. They never got it. They continued to eat the gritty sweet potatoes because that's what it was like. That's what they were supposed to do as far as they were concerned. And so what happens is that you and I are similar in that we will create, if you would, an opportunity for the world to literally change. That's what we're here for. Wouldn't it be wonderful if every person you knew could share with you unconditional love? Wouldn't it be wonderful if every person you knew could be kind to their families, kind to their children, kind to one another? Wouldn't it be just wonderful if each of us came together with no drama, with no issues, because we've worked through it, let it go, and we're now living in the present moment as spiritual beings? You know, the reason that we don't change generally, and the reason things that go on that are uncomfortable is usually based on fear. We fear something. So if you're uncomfortable in your skin sometimes, ask yourself, what am I afraid of? And when you start to ask yourself that question, you start to go into what Jim Rosemergy calls the cave, the inner self. And you start to look at what's really going on inside of me. And as you are willing to ask those questions, you begin to heal, you begin to grow. And you find yourself one day thinking totally different than you did the day before. That's what can happen for us when we're willing to become like the 100th monkey. And now, the next thing is that, Jim Rosemergy wrote in another book about 3 comings. Thank you. One was the coming of a master. The first coming is the coming of a master, like Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, Gandhi, King, and there are people today, I think Ken Wilber is one of them, who are going to become known as masters. And so masters are always appearing for us to guide us and directing, because they got the message somewhere deep within themselves, and they understand who we need to be and what we can be, and they demonstrate that to us. The second coming is the coming when an individual has a spiritual experience, is transformed. Sometimes it happens in unity overnight. People go, oh my gosh, and they catch it. And they feel like, please understand this statement, that they're saved. Not saved by someone, but saved from themselves. Not saved by Jesus, but understand that the way they are seeing themselves is a salvation to them, and they understand it comes from within, not from outside. And that is a second coming. The third coming is on the way, and this is global spirituality, where the globe starts to see the world from a spiritual perspective. And when that happens, we're going to see war dry up. I really believe that. We're going to see, at least we're going to start to see the signs of it, and then the wars will dry up. We're going to see people loving each other. We're going to see people giving aid to one another in many different ways, not just countries, individuals. And it's happening now. We just don't notice it much because we pay attention to the other stuff. And so we have this opportunity to understand and to become spiritual beings and a global spirituality. Think that way. And the more you think that way, the more it's probable of it happening quicker than you think. Maybe even while I'm still here. That'd be pretty quick, relatively speaking. But maybe, just maybe. We don't know. What I do know is that every time somebody walks in the door and comes to Unity Church or anywhere where they're seeking spiritual understanding, that they might be the one person that creates that tipping point. So let's always, as you are, be gracious to our guests and share with them the joy that we have here as you are doing this morning. And then the next thing, there are 3 commitments that are important. The first is, as I've been talking about, our personal transformation, okay? This is a commitment we make. And the commitment is more of, I understand that the only thing that's really important is how I see myself and others from a spiritual perspective. How I can see through somebody's stuff and love them. How when somebody reaches out and maybe hurts me, that I can understand it's an opportunity to learn something about myself. It's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to forgive. Now, I have a kind of weird understanding of forgiveness. I know that. Because what I believe is when somebody does something that I think hurts me, they are helping me. I can say thank you to them, not I forgive you. Because they've brought something into my life to make me aware of how I can show up in a much better, loving way. And that I said something or did something that created some kind of fear within them based on their past. May not have even known it. But what's happening was when they come back and share that with me, even in a mean way, I can say to myself, they're teaching me a lesson. So I don't need to forgive them, I need to thank them. And as we understand that concept of spiritual journey, we also understand that there is foundational principle. Now we talk about our 5 principles, but foundational principle is basically that I and you and God and Jesus and Mohammed are all one. We truly are all one. And in our oneness, we can share our lives. And that's when we start to approach this idea of spiritual global understanding. You see, if I stick just to myself, if I just stay, no disrespect, in unity, and unity is the right way, that's no difference than evangelical saying this is the only way. We just don't say it as loud. And I don't see much of that, but once in a while I run into people who kind of feel that way, that this is the only way, and we're out to change people because of that. But we do know in our hearts that there are many paths to God, and that what we have to use and what others have to do is choose the one that works for them and makes them feel whole, which they are, and makes them understand the power of healing, and makes them understand that they can go into the cave and feel safe so they can grow. And so this is the foundational principle of understanding ourselves. And then there's a global spiritual awakening, which I've been talking about, obviously. I'm going to talk more about it at the end of the month when I really talk about your destiny. And I don't know what that's going to look like, but I know the title, Your Destiny. And I just changed it because I sent another title before, okay? But anyway, and so much of our spiritual growth depends upon not what we think, but what we do. I can think one thing and act another way, and the action will influence me more than my thinking. And that's when I go back into the cave and say, what's going on here? So I can understand this idea of being the spiritual being who continues to grow. I mean, one of the things that's amazing in this church is I can talk to 10 people on a morning here very quickly, and they've all been in the church from anywhere from 20 to 50 years, okay, or 30 years. It's amazing how many people you have been here. Why do they stay here? Well, they love the church. There's no doubt about that. They love the message. There's no doubt about that. But what they really love, I believe, is they continue to get a sense of growing spiritually. They understand it's not all over because I know the 5 principles. It's not all over because I took lessons in Truth and other great books. It's not all over. I'm still growing. I'm still searching. I'm still reaching out. But I'm doing so much better today because I am expressing who and what I am. Because I'm experiencing it. And I want to continue to experience it. That's what spiritual growth is all about. Continuing to experience the Christ within. And when I don't, to make any corrections that are necessary. So, just remember, and it reminds me a little bit of a story that just came to me, about when we gather together in 3 or more, 2, 3 or more, there I am, the I am is also. When I was in New Brunswick, Texas, and got an opportunity to speak at the church there, the night before they took me out to a club. They called it the club. It wasn't really a club. What it was a bar where everybody came to sit and talk. The music was in the background. So you'd go in, you sit down at a table, and we had 3 or 4 unit people, and we went to different tables. And people came and sat with us. Okay? And we didn't say, well, let's talk about unity tonight. But we did bring in, let's talk about what you believe tonight. What do you think about spiritual beings? What do you think about angels? Whatever. And the whole idea was the community during that evening was to talk about things that we don't normally talk about when we go to a bar. Right? And so, as we had this discussion, I watched and I felt the energy. It was much like the energy here this morning. You could feel it. People were glad to share their differences. And there were differences. I had an Episcopalian, a Roman Catholic, a Jewish fellow, and myself. I think that's pretty diverse. Okay? And that was in Texas, by the way. Okay? Amazing. And we had a great conversation. And we started talking about that we all are following the path that leads us to our understanding of God. And that we were all growing and having benefit from it. There was nobody who said, well, you ought to become a Catholic. There was somebody who said you ought to become unity. No, nobody said you ought to become unity, okay? It was just a wonderful, open conversation, and they did this once a week at this particular bar. See, that's spiritual growth. It's a wonderful opportunity to know oneself, to know your neighbor, and to find God everywhere. Thank you. So, let's take this moment to really find ourselves. To go within. To think deeper. To feel the presence of Spirit. And in that presence, ask yourself, what is mine to do in my spiritual growth? Say to yourself, what is my next step in my spiritual journey? And then affirm, I give thanks for the answers that will come to me. And as you allow yourself to feel whatever necessary, to experience whatever is necessary, you realize in this moment that you're on the right track. That literally by asking the questions you are growing. And by listening to the questions or the answers, you are becoming what you envision. This is your moment, your opportunity, your blessing. And we give thanks in the name and in the power of the Christ within each and every one of us. And so it is. Amen.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
Opportunity? Is my mic on? It is. Thank you. We have that opportunity to share of the gifts that we have received. Some we've worked for, some been given to us, some maybe we just found, but we share it. And so we have this opportunity to tithe now, and there are a number of ways that you can do that here at Unity. You can leave a tithe in the basket in the back, either cash or check. You can use your credit card and go online and go to our website and donate. And you can also make it easy by calling in to give, and the number is
4081228.
And now we have a friend to everybody, Ed Rosewith, who is coming up to share with us A prosperity moment? Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ed Rosequist. I'm on your board of trustees, acting as a secretary with my buddy Jolene. You know, one of the best things that ever happened to me here at Unity was my discovery around money and prosperity. And I found that I was greedy with how I handled my money and time. Through some classes and reading, I was able to let my greed turn into gratitude. Found that I was using obligation more to give in my tithes and my ways. And I found that I needed to turn that into more opportunity. What can I do, and what does my contribution actually do in the world and all things around me? And I also found that it wasn't just around money, it was around my talent and my time. Now, sometimes I get afraid, as we kind of all do, fear. And I let those old feelings kind of get into my psyche, and it starts appearing. And I start to get a little scared around money or my time. But I find that doing some service work and getting out of myself a little bit, I can get back to that attitude of gratitude. And I negate those old feelings, and I really get back to a place where I see myself as prosperous, happy, and free. You know, it takes all of us to make this Unity Center prosperous, with the doors open and the lights on. And it's not just for our own personal interests or our own personal growth. It's really looking around us to see all those people that are walking in the door fresh for the first time and seeing how they can have that same opportunity that you've been having over these, for me, 35 years. So it's a way of getting out of ourselves, and I so appreciate that. So I want to, take my time to thank you for all your time and talent and treasures that you provide to this ministry. I want you to let you know that not only are you transforming yourself, but you're transforming others, and you're allowing us to truly transform the world. Thank you.
That's a man who walks his talk, by the way. Thank you. All right. So, where are we here? We are at the point where we are to be giving thanks, right? Okay, good. But before I do that, I still want to talk about money one more minute. We've been talking about consistent giving pretty consistently this year, okay? And I just wanted to bring it up again. It's not every Sunday. We don't want to beat it to death. But we have an opportunity to share ourselves on a consistent basis. I like to say Unity is consistently here for you. Are you consistently here for Unity when it comes to your tithe and your money? And I know it's a strong statement. That is not meant to judge anybody. I affirm that everybody's doing what they feel they need to do. But there is a time sometimes when we can examine our hearts, examine what's going on, and step to the table and maybe give a little more, but certainly make a commitment to give regularly. And by going to Tithely or our website. And many of you who start to do that. We've had some significant changes in our income stream because of it. And I want to thank each person who's done that. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to do by using your heart to make your decision. So please consider that this morning. If you'd like to do that, go to the website and sign up. We want you to have that opportunity, or ask an usher for a card in the back and you can fill it out. So thank you very much. And now, let's bless that which we've been given. And so together, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
This song's a song about community and our interdependence on each other. So just take a look around the room here and see all the friends and the community we've created. Don't be fooled by the title. Last night I dreamed my daddy woke me up. He took me by the hand. Led me down the path into the woods to where the little chapel stands. And everyone we knew was there, and they all seemed so happy we came by. The deacon shook our hands and then he led us to our seat beside the aisle. The preacher started talking. Everybody leaned in close. He said, there is a light in the dark when we need it the most. And there is a way through this world if we keep this in mind. No one gets to heaven if anybody else is left behind. No one gets to heaven if anyone is lost along the way. And it's so easy to doubt it. Now let us join hands and pray. On that beautiful shore in the sweet by and by. 'Cause no one gets to heaven if anybody else is left behind. We sang Rock of Ages like we'd been to that place. And we sang Peace in the Valley. Lord, we sang I'll fly away. I'll fly away. When we lifted our voices, we sounded like angels on high. Singing, no one gets to heaven if anybody else is left behind. Oh, no one gets to heaven if anyone is lost along the way, lost along the way. And it's so easy to doubt it. Now let us join hands and pray. We'll meet on that beautiful shore in the sweet by and by. No one gets to heaven if anybody else is left behind. We'll meet on that beautiful shore. We'll meet on that beautiful shore in the sweet by and by. No one gets to heaven if anybody else is left behind. No one gets to heaven if anybody else is left. Ooh, take a look around you. Look at the person next to you and say, I ain't going without you. We all go together, we don't go at all. Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful for this community. Amen to you, Alice.
I was ready for the announcements. But before we do that, we got something more important. And that's to welcome each new person here. Is anybody here today for the first time at Unity? Would you raise your hand? Just raise your hand. We'd like to share something with you. Oh, right here. There we go. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And we hope you'll come back. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me or any of the ushers. And also, you've just received a free packet. And inside that packet, if you fill out a form, there's another free gift that you will receive when you go into our bookstore just outside in the foyer area. So thank you for being here again. We appreciate you. Now the announcements. Thank you.
Red or black, Lisa? Oh, look at you.
I'm wearing both.
This is great. Hi, everyone.
Good morning. Okay, mine's on. Is yours on? Yep. Looks awesome. All right, well, our community outreach is starting its annual diaper drive. No one wet behind, he needs to call it.
It's a 5K.
We are collecting diapers of any size, and in particular, adult diapers are in need. So we ask that you bring those, and they can be open packages, that's fine, just not used. And you can drop them off in the narthex. There'll be a gathering place for that all month of May.
Nice. Well, it's finally come, everybody. Tonight at Cinco de Mayo. Coming in here, and doors open at 6:30. Come at 6:30. The taco bar opens at 6:30, and Daniel will start at 7. So I hope to see you tonight. And Daniel has a little message for you guys. Here it is. Or for us, not for you guys.
Thonsicles, this is Daniel Namod. I am performing an amazing act of teleportation today because here Sunday morning I am talking to you from my studio in Orange County. In just a few hours I will be there in your building to celebrate Cinco de Mayo the way my ancestors never did, through songs and tacos. I'll almost certainly sing this, for example. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. And I'll probably sing, call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. And in all seriousness, on Cinco de Mayo, I'm definitely going to share with you one of the most touching moments I've ever had as a musician, as a performer, and sing for you the only song of mine that I have ever had someone translate for me into Spanish. It's a simple little song, but I do think you'll enjoy it, and especially I think you'll really appreciate the story behind it. So anyway, I'll see you in just a few hours. Hello, my fellow Renaissance.
Let's see in just a few hours. His ancestors, by the way, are Russian Jewish. So,
And I believe there will be vegan options, right, for the taco bar, right?
okay, it's time for the ladies of the sisterhood to come up and give us a little bit of more announcement on tonight. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
That's okay.
Hi, B.
Hi, Jackie. You know what today is?
No, what?
It's Happy Cinco de Mayo Day.
Well, do you have any plans?
I'm so glad you asked. Actually, I do. I am coming back here tonight for the cafe concert right here at Unity Renaissance.
Me too.
Yay, great. Well, the best part is that all of you are invited, and you too. You can bring your entire family, from the very young to the seniors. Invite your neighbors, invite your friends, and good news, nobody has to do any cooking. Tell them, Jackie.
No. As members of Unity Sisterhood, we're inviting you to a taco bar tonight.
Dinner will be served at 6:30 to 7:30 with all the fixins and dessert and beverages. Oh, all you have to do is sit back, enjoy your tacos while listening to the beautiful music of the very talented Daniel Neymad. Oh, wait a minute. Te veo esta noche.
What does that mean?
See you tonight.
Thank you, B. That's fun. And it is a $5 for the taco bar? Is that correct?
Thank you. Thank you. $5 for all the fixins per person, includes dessert and beverages.
Nice.
Can't beat that deal,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But don't tell your friends. We don't want them eating all the tacos.
All right. Oh, now we've got another
Boynton.
video for you of Spotlight with Gail
my gosh, she's
talking
sitting
about
right
her
there.
upcoming class.
You've been reciting the Lord's Prayer your whole life while wishing that you understood it more deeply. Here is your opportunity. The Lord's Prayer is the Jesus Christ system boiled down to its most common denominator, establishing our relationship to God and how to be with God and with each other. I believe this class will make this prayer a lot more meaningful for you. You're invited to join me on Zoom for this journey upward in consciousness, 3 Wednesdays, starting May 8th. Hope to see you then.
All right, and you can sign up for that online. Appreciate you doing that online so that you can get the Zoom link, because this is a Zoom-only class. And there's details on there about the payments. I think it's $20 per class or $50 for all 3 of the classes.
Yep. When you sign up, we will be able to send you the Zoom link. So you have to kind of be registered to get the Zoom link. So keep that in mind. And so today, right after church, 12:30, we're going to vote on our updated and revised bylaws. So I urge everyone who is an official Unity Renaissance member to be here to help us vote and bring that in. And those of you who are not official members, you cannot vote, but you can come and ask a lot of questions and maybe get some clarity on what the new bylaws are. So that's 12:30 today. Try to grab you a quick snack and get back out here as soon as you can.
And there will be childcare.
And there will be childcare,
Yes.
So don't worry about
and
the
I think
children's.
B will share a little bit more about that when they welcome the kids in. And then finally, we have our next spiritual cinema film coming up on Friday, May 17th, and that is called The Healer.
And this is about a young man who suddenly finds that he has healing abilities. And as he struggles to try to understand these abilities and the new perception of reality that it brings to him, a teenage girl with cancer comes into his life to kind of be his guide through that process. So please come out for that. It's always free to come watch the movie. There's popcorn and water, and then we have a little bit of discussion about the film afterwards.
Yeah, I'd like to thank
7
Charlie
p.m.
Dowd.
Yes, 7 p.m. Charlie
Running our
puts those together for us. So thank you, Charlie.
And as always, as we have been throughout this process, there's a board member out in the narthex to answer all of your questions about the minister, new minister, the ministerial process, anything you want to know. And this Sunday, it will be the lovely and talented
And
Michael. I thought it was Hazel Gaines, which is why I was like, you don't look like Hazel.
All right, and with that, we welcome our children in. So please stand and as we sing them in.
Walking in the light of God. We are 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 walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God.
Okay, are we all in? Good morning, good morning, how are you? Good morning. Such a beautiful morning. Did you guys hear the rain? Makes for the most beautiful, spectacular flowers. So grateful. Okay, do I have an offertory? I have offertory angels. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Let's take a deep breath together. Oh, sweet spirit, thank you so much for all things today. For our amazing teachers, Mr. Russell, Mr. Daniel, Mr. Jeff stepped in with us today. We are so grateful. For Miss B, who did the rock painting. I won't tell you anymore, sorry. For the monetary gifts, for the smiles, for the laughter, for the joy, for all the wonderful big children helping the small children. It just warmed my heart. For all things big and small, and so it is. Amen. Yeah. Who's sharing? Oh.
Today we learned about peace, power, and kind. We painted rocks to go in a peace garden. Today we painted rocks to go in the peace garden, and we learned about the power of what our actions do.
I have the power to create my world.
Wait a minute. I don't think they heard that. Is that the affirmation? Let's hear it again.
I have the power to create my world.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Oh. So just so you know, I don't ever ignore my babies. We have roles of responsibility. So the children pick roles when they come in the morning. And some of them are sharing on sanctuary stairs. Some of them are our tech helpers, line leaders. So we always want to honor the children who chose that job. And everyone gets a chance to do it next Sunday. So we're not ever ignoring anybody, just so you all know. Okay, so special announcements. Today is Shining Souls rehearsal. So if you are in the Shining Souls, please make sure you join us in the great room back in the YFM. We are doing that directly after service with Reverend Richard, none only, then a musical masterpiece over there. And then next Sunday is our All Together Now service for Mother's Day. We are so excited. Please join us. I expect to see a full house for all the traditions and all the new traditions that we are beginning. And with that, please stand for the prayer of protection and the peace song.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God